lesson that I want to teach us, because as I keep saying that knowledge is power, and travel rules keep changing, so we have to be updated all the time so that we cannot miss out on the very important things that you are supposed to do or not to do. Yeah. So I'm doing something. Stay on standby as I check in on the other phone, because I am on screencast and I want to see who is watching. This phone is not working. So let me start immediately. Don't worry if I don't mention you, darlings. Please watch the video fully. It is going to be very educative with genuine motive. I'm not gonna mention any name. I'll teach you regarding what happened in the US the other day, because as I keep telling you, I'm a travel rules expert, as in that is my career, checking people traveling to various destinations in the world, including the US and other destinations in Europe. So I know many travel rules, the visas that you're supposed to use when traveling for various purposes. So please listen, and I know you are going to learn a lot. So let me start and go straight to my topic. Watch fully, subscribe to this channel. I teach regarding travel rules because that is my line of expertise, having worked in that field for many years. And as I keep saying, this is not legal advice. If you need legal advice, please consult a lawyer. I only teach out of experience. And this is what I do. So I know so many rules regarding the US, regarding Europe, regarding many other destinations, and I know the visa requirements, and that is why I call my channel Grace Travels and Visa Requirements. I do not issue visas. Visas are issued by the embassy. I only teach the visa requirements. So there was this very interesting case. This is a real case, but I'm not going to mention any name because this thing happens to many people. Yeah, these things happens a lot. And you know now the US is stricter with its rules. So whatever I'm going to teach will help you, your brother and your sister, because I've seen people traveling to the US using the visitor's visa. This is only for the people who need visas. It's okay. Not all nationalities who travel to the US that need a visa. There are some people who can travel and they do not need a visa. For example, the UK, but the UK need a visa, by the way. The UK, the British citizens need a visa to the UK, but they can apply for a NESTA. Yeah, they can go online and apply for a electronic system for travel authorization. But majorly, the African passports need a visa to travel to the US. So this one is specifically for, let me say Kenya, but also for other African nationals who wish to travel to the US. So this thing happened, and listen carefully so that you may learn. Let me go direct to the point without further ado so that you can learn. And as I can repeat again, this is not legal. If you need any legal advice, you can consult your lawyer. So, my introduction is why this video matters. Why does it matter, by the way? Yeah, today I want to talk about something very serious that affects many Kenyan travelers, because I've been checking people with visas, going to the US with US visitors visa. As we know, US have got very many types of visas. The mostly used visa is for the visitors, B1 through B2. Yeah. So this is not gossip. This is not fear mongering. This is not travel education for your information. But many Kenyans are being detained, turned back, deported, or banned for years. Yeah, this is just travel advice, just to help you. Yeah, not because they are criminals, but because they used the wrong visa. Yes, using the wrong visa. And more so for now, because I know at point of entry in the US, we normally call it POE. At point of entry, I know the custom border and protection are very strict now to protect their territory. Yeah, for people not to abuse or misuse the point of entry. It's normally called POE. So the most abused visa is the B1/B2 US visitor visa. Let me share a simple real life type of a story, then explain clearly. This happened, by the way. A gospel musician was deported. I'm not going to mention the name because we have got very many gospel musicians. Thank you so bad. Thank you, darling. We have got so many gospel musicians from Kenya who travel to the US to go and perform, yeah, at the invitation. So this happened the other day, but I'm not going to be specific to who it happened to. So I'm going to explain what the B1 B2 visa is used for, what it is not used for, which visa should have been used in this case, travel tips to protect yourself. Yeah. The Bible says in the book of Proverbs, because I love using the Bible, because we are going to be led by the Bible. Remember, this was a gospel musician going to perform in a church. Yeah. So I'll use this. I normally use my references. I normally give references from the Bible to guide us. The Bible says in the book of Proverbs, chapter 13, verse 16, every prudent man acts with knowledge. Travel without knowledge is dangerous. So learn that, darlings, because it is going to help you. Thank you so much, family times. Wow, thank you so much, darling. God bless you for coming to this live. I'm teaching regarding US B1, B2 visa for visit. Happy New Year, my queen. God bless you. Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. May this year bring forth good fruits, blessings, yes, and may God bless you. Yeah, let me continue with my topic, darlings. Please subscribe and listen to this video to the end and learn a lot. Family, thank you so much. God bless you. So, my part 1, the Kenyan passenger story. A Kenyan passenger, I'm not going to mention the name, a gospel musician, received an invitation from the US. So she was going to perform on stage, sing in front of a paying audience, minister at organized events. Yeah, thank you so much. God bless you. Yeah, and most probably she could receive payments. Yeah, people normally go to perform and it is okay. So I'm not saying it is bad, and maybe they are paid. Yeah, so if it is a paid event, yeah, paid event, and you have got a B1, B2 visa, yeah, that can be dangerous. Though sometimes people go with it and they make it. Sometimes you can travel with it, but remember, you are not supposed to go and perform with that visa in an event where you are going to sing in front of a paying audience, or if it is a paid event. And if you have ever done that and you succeeded, it does not mean that it is legal. It does not mean that it is legal. Barry, thank you. Oh, thank you so much. God bless you, Brother Barry. Thank you for coming. God bless you. Yeah, it does not mean it is illegal, even if you maneuvered it the other time, or even if other people have maneuvered. Yeah, sometimes you can be denied entry at the port of entry. So, like many Kenyans, she had a B1, B2 visa. Why did she have the B1, B2 visa? Because many people say everyone uses a B1, B2 visa. So I can also use it. That is what I think maybe she said. Or maybe she has ever used it because maybe she has an old visa that she applied sometimes back. and maybe she has ever used it before. But at this point now, I think the officers at the port of entry were more strict. So she traveled believing everything was okay. But at the US port of entry, immigration officers asked simple questions. Why are you coming? What will you do? Will you be paid? Will you perform publicly? These are some of the questions that can be asked at the port of entry. And maybe she answered honestly. Yeah, because I don't know whether she answered that way, but I'm double sure there is something that caused them to bring her back, because it happened, by the way, during December festive season, before the new year. So maybe she gave honest answers, or I don't know how she answered, but within minutes, her passport was taken for secondary inspection, refused entry, and then deported back. And this happens a lot. I've ever seen people being deported from the US port of entry. Yeah. And her mistake was not bad behavior. She didn't behave badly. Her mistake was visa misuse. Yes. My part number 2. What a B1, B2 visa is actually for. Listen to this, please, and share it widely, because I know for now deportations will be many at the port of entry. Let us now simplify this. B1, B2 visa means visitor visa. It is meant for temporary visits only. So B1 alone is business visitor. I've ever seen people having only the B1. Yeah. And for the B1 visa, the allowed activities are the following. Listen carefully. Attending meetings, conferences, business discussions, negotiating contracts, training that is not paid. Yeah, you could be going for a tour for the B1 visa. Performing services, being paid, doing hands-on work. Then now we go to B2. B2 is a tourist visa. Sometimes they combine it into B1 stroke B2, but sometimes they can issue a B1 visa separately, and sometimes issue a B2 depending on your purpose of visit. Remember, I taught you that the purpose of visit must match the details in the visa. Yeah. So let's go to the B2 visa. What is a B2 visa? It is a tourist visitor. What are the allowed activities? Tourism, visiting family or friends, medical treatment, attending weddings or church services as a visitor, not to be paid. What is not allowed? Performing, singing on stage, preaching, teaching, or paid or unpaid public events. So for the public events, whether they are paid or unpaid, they are not allowed. Important rule. If people are coming to watch you, hear you, or benefit from your skill, that is work. That is considered in the US as work. Even if it is gospel, charity, ministry, short term, or just one event. Immigration law does not change because the work is religious. I think that one is a good point to learn. My part 3, why many Kenyans get it wrong. And I can say why many Africans get it wrong. So many Kenyans say, others do it. I've gone before. Yes. They didn't catch me. Yes. I'm not being paid much. Yes. But remember, my friend, remember, immigration law works like this. You may pass today, you may be caught tomorrow. Yes. Today you could pass, but tomorrow you'll be caught. Port of entry officers have full authority. They have full authority to execute their duties accordingly. And as I keep saying, let us forever be authentic in our travels, in our immigration, because God is watching us. Just because someone was not caught does not make it legal. My part 4. Why was the Kenyan passenger deported? Yeah, she was deported because she entered on a visitor visa. She intended to perform. The event was paid. The audience benefited from her work. That is direct violation of B1/B2 visa conditions. At the airport, officers concluded you are entering the US to work without the correct visa. That is how they are going to conclude. The result: denied entry, immediate return flight, immigration record flagged. Remember, when you are denied entry because of visa violation, you can be flagged. I have worked for flights that are destined to the US, destined to the UK, and other European territories, e.g. Germany, France, Brussels, and these countries are very serious. And all the countries, by the way, whether you are entering an African country or a European country, US, Canada, wherever, anywhere, Caribbean territories, always do the right thing. So, part number 5, which visa should she have used? This is very important. Now I'm going to give you the visa that she was supposed to use if she was going to perform. Yeah, thank you so much, family. Family times. Yeah, so I'm going to give you the visa which she should have used so that she could not get problems at the port of entry. The correct visa for her case was the P3 visa. That is the best option. P-3. I know people know that visa. Document checkers know that visa, and even people who go to perform in the US, maybe gospel musicians, this is the best visa. Even if you maneuvered on a B1, B2 visa, thank you so much, Family Queen. Even if you have ever maneuvered, because people maneuver, remember it cannot make it legal. It was just lucky that you are not caught, but that is not right. So, P3 visa, what is it for? A P3 US visa is for artists, performers, musicians, cultural or religious performers, paid or unpaid performances. If you are singing, performing, ministering through music, appearing on stage, this is the correct visa, the P-3 visa. It's called P3. Let's call it P3. P3. P for Papa. P for Papa. Yes. It requires a US-based sponsor, petition filed in the US, visa interview at US Embassy in Nairobi, or in your country where the embassy is, the US Embassy is. In Kenya, the embassy is in Nairobi. And also, we have got other possible visas, not only the P3 visa. We have got other possible visas that can also be used by artists, whether they are gospel artists, musicians, people who go to perform. Yeah, we have got the O1 visa. O1 visa. You know O for ovo. O1 visa for internationally recognized artists. As long as you are recognized internationally, you can use an O1 visa. You go to the visa. The other visa that you can use for religious purposes. Thank you so much, family. Oh, thank you so much, 5Gs. God bless you. Thank you so much. God bless you, my sister. May you have a blessed new year, darling. So the R1, R for R. What do we call, what can we say R for? R for religion. So R1 visa for long-term religious work, not short-term events. For the religious visa, R1, that one is someone who is going to go to the US for a long term. So for the case of this Kenyan, who was only going to perform for a short term, the best visa for her was to be the P3 visa or the O1 visa. O1 visa. Be very careful. Yeah, you get an invitation from a US-based whatever organization, a sponsor from the US, and then you go to the embassy and always give the correct information. Embassy officials cannot be compromised. They are very authentic, and we have to have pure integrity. More so for the gospel musicians, because remember, as far as I'm concerned, a gospel musician is a representative of God. You are going to minister to people's spirits, so use the right visa. Do not lie. Yes, and I'm saying this with a lot of love, and I'm teaching you so that you can get the information. My part 6, important travel tips for Kenyans and other Africans. Always match visa to the activity. That is my first tip. Ask yourself, what will I physically do in the US? Not what you call it, but what you do. The thing is, what will I physically do in the US? That is what the visa should state. My tip number 2, paid or unpaid does not matter. Even if the gospel artist was not going to be paid, that does not matter. Work is work. If you perform, you serve an audience, an organization benefits. So, whether you are going to be paid or not, it is work. Why? You are going to perform, you are going to serve an audience, and an organization will benefit. Now, but my tip number 3, do not lie at the airport. Never hide facts. And I'm going to give a biblical reference because I believe that whatever we do must have integrity, and we should have integrity. Proverbs chapter 12 verse 22. Lying lips are an abomination. So we shouldn't lie. Lies can lead to 5-year ban in the US, 10-year ban, or permanent ineligibility. So never lie, and never lie in any port of entry. Whether you are going to China or Gadugu, don't lie. Talk the truth. The truth will set you free. Tip number 4. Invitation letters do not change visa rules. Yeah, it does not matter whatever your invitation letter says, and the invitation letter anyway should match the visa purpose. There should be no contradiction. A church letter does not override immigration law. People even lie using the church, which is very, very wrong. A church letter does not override immigration law. Authenticity everywhere. Never lie, darlings. My tip number 5. Immigration officers decide at port of entry. A visa is permission to ask entry, not a guarantee of entry. And people forget that. Yeah, thank you so much, 5G. So let me say something. People normally think something, and I've seen it. Having worked in this industry for years and years, people normally assume when I get a visa and I take a flight to a place, I must be allowed to enter that place. It is not a must. We have seen many people having the visa, but they are denied entry at the port of entry. Whether in France, whether in Germany, whether in US, it happens a lot. Why? Some people normally use lies to get a visa in the embassy. For example, You can go and get a visa using fraudulent information in the US Embassy. Remember when you are talking, whatever you are saying, they key in information about what you are telling them. So when you are arriving at the other end, at the port of entry, you can be denied if the information that you gave does not tally with whatever you are telling them at port of entry. And they can interrogate you further and know whether you are lying or not. So, a visa is permission to ask entry, not a guarantee. So having a US visa in your passport does not mean that you have to enter. I have seen people who have entered in the US for 5 times and they were refused entry at the 6th time, or at the 2nd time, or at the 4th time, because they were discovered that they were going to work there illegally using the B1, B2 visa. They had a sinister motive. So let us not let us not do that, darlings. But for this Kenyan that I'm talking about, maybe what happened, she did not have the information. For her case, I'm not judging her. Maybe she didn't have the information that she shouldn't use a B1, B2 visa to go and perform as a gospel musician. Maybe she didn't know. And many other people do that because they do not know. Not because they are criminals, not because they are bad people, but because they don't have the information. And that is why I'm giving out this information free of charge, so that we cannot make such mistakes. So, my tip number 6, if you are not sure, get proper advice. Consult official embassy information. You can go to the website of the US Embassy and get official information. You can consult licensed immigration lawyers, not WhatsApp groups. Don't rely on WhatsApp groups, my dear. Nowadays, we have got information online. You can go to the US Embassy. You can even call. You can write an email to the US Embassy in your country and ask them, if I'm going for the purpose of performing as a gospel artist, what visa should I use? Even if you have an old B1, B2 visa that is still valid, please go and get the right visa so that you can be seen that you are authentic, and surely you are authentic. Don't just assume, because I have a US B1, B2 visa, that I went to visit my friend in the US, I cannot use it to enter again to go and perform in a church. That is wrong visa usage. Please use the official embassy. Please consult official embassy information. This I'm repeating. Licensed immigration lawyers, but don't rely on WhatsApp groups. They can mislead you. My part number 7. This is just for your wisdom. Travel is not only about money and opportunity, it is about wisdom. People just think, just because I can get money, just because I can get an opportunity to go and live in a greener pasture country, I can do anything. Don't do that. Finally, you are going to pay for it. Be authentic in every move, and God is going to work with you. Yes. Luke chapter 14 verse 28 says, which of you, intending to build a tower, does not first sit down and count the cost? Always sit down and count the cost. Just imagine taking a flight all the way from Kenya to the US, all that long, and then you are deported at port of entry. And worst case scenario, you can be given a ban. I'm not saying that she was given a ban. Yeah, thank you so much, family times. I am not saying that, I'm not concluding that she was given a ban because I don't know, but it can happen. Some people have ever entered, and then I don't know, they didn't enter. At the port of entry, they were banned from entering the US for 10 years, some for 5, depending. But maybe if they are lenient enough, they can tell you to go back and get the right visa in the embassy, because they are also human beings. But depending on the case, remember, every case is taken the way it is. So she was told, go back to your country, go to the US Embassy and get the right visa. Worst case scenario, ban. And remember, when you are banned, even if you go to another embassy to apply for a visa, that ban can affect your visa issuance in the other embassy. Let us be authentic. Do the right thing. Anyway. Many dreams are destroyed at airports because of poor preparation. There are even people who get genuine invites, but because they don't prepare wisely, they don't consult, they don't care, imagine your dream get destroyed just because of lack of knowledge. And the Bible says, my people perish because due to lack of knowledge. If I want to go and if someone invites me to go to the US, to go maybe and preach the gospel, I should go and get the right visa. Or if they are inviting me to just visit, that is okay. But if I'm going to perform, or maybe do something, maybe to go and preach or something, I must go to the embassy and be genuine and authentic and apply for the rightful visa. This video is not meant to scare you. It is meant to protect you. I'm just doing this to protect you. Even for you, maybe if you are going to watch this video and you are affected and you have ever been affected, this one is going to protect you and help you. Because many Kenyans are currently using B1, B2 visa wrongly. Because I've ever seen somebody being deported with a B1, B2 visa because of wrong use. Yeah. And many Kenyans are also risking deportation. And the other thing, they are risking future visa denial. And this is happening to many people, not only the Kenyans. Africans, Asians who need visas to the US, yeah, it is happening to many people, by the way. Please use the right visa. Follow the right process. Protect your travel history. Travel history is very important. Yes, when you have got a positive travel history, yeah, you can get a visa to another place very easily. Because your travel history is authentic, you have never had a ban, you have never had a denied entry at port of entry. Yes, and it is good to be authentic. There are people who immigrate even illegally. People immigrate. Let me give you a short story before I wind up, darlings. There was my friend who was a very genuine friend. My real friend, not a friend. It's not a friend, by the way. What can I call her? Let me just call her. Yeah, let me just call her a friend. Though she's not a she's not a big friend. She's not a real friend. I'm not gonna say what relationship I have with her, but I know her. So she was telling me that if you want to migrate, you can look for someone. For example, what she did, she took someone, okay, there's someone who went with her daughter, did a fake marriage, and then they went to I know I'm not going to say to where, not in the US, and I'm not going to mention the country, but it's one of the great countries, the greener pasture countries. So you go, you do whatever. People do fake. Let me say something. Some people even do fake weddings so that they can immigrate. Let me ask you something. If you immigrate illegally and you claim you are born again Christian, what will you do? Because that one is going to be wrong. And God can never support sin. That is sinful. So I'm like, you allow your daughter to immigrate that way. I don't think that should happen. But people do that, which is very wrong. Marriage scams. Some people travel with the wrong visas, trying to immigrate wrongly. But I cannot advise that. I don't advise people to do that. Follow the right procedures. Wait for God's timing. Yeah. So that you cannot. The Bible says, the blessings of the Lord maketh rich, and they addeth no sorrow. When you do the right thing, the blessing of God is going to make you rich, and it will not gonna add sorrow. For this Kenyan's case, what I can advise, please go to the embassy, get the right visa, and travel. If you got a ban, wait until the ban is over, because a ban is a ban. If they give you a ban of 10 years, you have to wait for the 10 years. If they give you a ban for 3 years, for 5 years, you have to wait. Yeah, let us not perish because of lack of knowledge. I hope you have enjoyed. Please consider subscribing to this amazing channel. Watch my travel video. They are very, very, very informative. Yeah, just take your time and listen. And I know there are people who have benefited from these videos and now they know what to do. At the port of entry, I have taught about the questions that are asked at the port of entry. You can go and watch my last video. It's the video that I did regarding whatever immigration questions that are asked at the port of entry in any country. Whether you are traveling to Kenya, Uganda, US, there are questions that the immigration officers ask. Remember, the answers that you give must match with the visa. Yeah, so that there cannot be contradiction and you are going to have an easy time. Otherwise, I'm not going to continue because I didn't want to make this video too long. May God bless you for watching this video. But please, I also have another gospel channel because I told you I'm a called gospel preacher and I preach free of charge because Jesus said that freely given, freely give. So I do evangelism online, preaching the pure gospel of the cross, the gospel of Jesus Christ and the return of the Messiah, so that we can meet in heaven after this nice life. So God bless you. Have a nice time. I wish you all a blessed and a happy new year in the presence of the Lord. When you plan to travel, only travel legally. Use the right visa. Use the right visa and you are going to like it. Otherwise, bye. God bless you. I'll see you later with another video. Watch it fully and share it with your friends. Bye. God bless you.